Hi, I'm Nandini Nayar and I'm the author of over 50 books for children of all ages. Now, one of the things that a lot of people wonder about is why and how does a children's writer know so much about books and reading and how to get children to read. So today's video is an explanation of that, what makes a children's writer like me talk about books and reading and how to get your child to read and what kind of books your child is likely to read. Now, the first thing that you should know is that any writer is someone who has always been in love with books. It's someone who has read a lot. And this was something that happened to me too. I grew up reading. I loved reading. I loved words and the magic that they could create. And of course, when I grew up, I did want to be a writer, but I also continued to be a very voracious reader. And because I wanted to write children's stories, I read a lot of children's stories by different authors. So this is one of the reasons why I do know of the kinds of authors and the kinds of books that are being published. When it comes to talking about how to get your child to read, this is because I have a son of my own, and when my son was born, I was determined that I wanted to introduce books to him at a very early age. So I began reading to him when he was just a few months old, and he would listen to me. And when he grew a little older, I began narrating stories to him. And these were little stories that I made up. And this is how I understood what a child likes to listen to. And I realized that nothing makes a child happier than hearing a story with his or her name in it. And this is when I started writing these. I made these stories up originally. So if you see books of mine like What Shall I Make, which is actually one of the most popular books I have written, this was born out of my desire to keep my son entertained. So I made up a story for him, and I realized in the process that not just my son, but many other children, in fact most other children, do enjoy stories like this. So as he grew older, I was also buying lots of books for him, and these books showed me what a child likes. So I would buy books and bring them home, and some of them he would absolutely love and read again and again and again, and there were others that he never touched. So these are the insights which I try to pass on to other parents so that they can ensure that their child grows up to be a reader like my son did. I also learned the power of books and stories, because when my child was small, I was able to keep him away from devices. So he grew up without really paying too much attention or spending too much time watching television or phones or any of these things. What was more, I was able to use books to entertain him when he was bored. Books became the way to deal with his transition from one phase to another, because there were always stories which reflected what he was going through, which helped him deal with what he was going through at school or with friends or whatever. So I also realized that books can be used to sort of tempt your child as a way to negotiate with your child and get them to do certain things. So these are all the things, things that I have gained from my own experience that I am now trying to pass on to other parents. And the reason for this is, I think as parents, we are really privileged because we are with our child 24/7, which means that we can actually mold our child to become the kind of person we want them to be. And one of the best ways of doing this is through the medium of books, because rather than constantly talk to your child and lecture them and scold them, just use books, because not only do they entertain your child, but they also ensure that your child has books to fall back on at every point in his or her life. So do let me know if this little insight into my own life and experiences has helped you, or if there's something else you would like me to talk about. Do leave a comment in the comment section, and do like and subscribe to my channel to stay updated on several other such topics that I am going to be talking about. Until the next time, keep reading, keep smiling, and remember, we are all in this together to raise our children to be readers. Bye-bye, and thank you for watching.